just to explain a bit of my approach for how I'm doing the Torah readings this year. This is one of those years where the readings get offset between Israel and the diaspora, in that outside of Israel we do an extra day of Yom Tov, of the holidays. Well, when the first day of Chag HaMatzot, commonly known as Pesach, falls on Shabbat, the last day will as well, outside Israel, the 8th day. In Israel there is no the 8th day, there are 7 days. So the day after is just Shabbat. So they just move on with the next Torah reading. Outside of Israel, we read a special reading for the Yom Tov, and we don't get to that Torah reading until the next week. So we're 1 week behind Israel until eventually we do a double reading to catch up with them. Same thing happens when Shavuot falls out on Friday. The second day, where there's a second day, is on Shabbat. So you read the reading for Yom Tov, and you don't get to the next Torah reading until the week after. Whereas in Israel, it's already the day after Yom Tov, you're reading it then. That happens this year. This year, Shavuot is coming up soon. It'll be on a Friday. Second day, for places where they keep a second day, is on the Shabbat. So there'll be an offset for a number of weeks. My intent in doing the derashoth is to follow the Israeli schedule. Not because it's better to do early, so that if anybody's listening from Israel, he's ready. And anybody from outside, okay, you've got it a week early. As opposed to the opposite, if I do it on the out of Israel schedule, then people in Israel are stuck and they have to wait until a week too late. Whereas here we're on time. That's a nice bonus, not the reason. I'm reminded of a story from a number of years ago when I met two individuals from Israel, a couple who were in Canberra, and it came to Sukkot. We talk about plans and the like, and to them, the whole concept of keeping a second day was completely foreign. Like, we keep 2 days here, and there's stuff at the Knesset on the first day, there's stuff on the second day, and they were talking about activities, and to them it completely blew their mind that such a thing exists. And it occurred to me, here in Canberra, and in most of the diasporic world, we take it for granted. You ask most people how many days of Pesach are there, they'll say 8. No, there aren't 8 days. There are 7 days. We do an extra day. And even if they say, 7, but outside of Israel we do 8. Fine. But they'll say, in Israel, they don't do the second day. It's not that in Israel they don't do the second day. It's that outside of Israel we do a second day. And it occurred to me then that my perspective is messed up. Because it never occurred to me that it would never have occurred to them. Because here it's a given, we do an extra day. And most people know that in Israel we don't do the other day. To them, they were so used to living in Israeli culture that the idea never came to mind. 2 days, it's just such a foreign thing, they never... it's a theoretical, we know that they... But, doesn't mean anything, it doesn't exist in their world. And that's sad. Because even if we're not living in Israel, and the truth is most Jews in the world don't live in Israel, we're meant to be. That is the proper way to keep the holidays according to the Torah. 7 days of Pesach, not 8. Outside of Israel, we do an extra day. The fact that most people do it doesn't mean it's normal. Or at least that we shouldn't consider it normal. The primacy of the land of Israel is a central point in our yearning for thousands of years. We should always remember that we, outside, are the ones who do an extra day. Not that they, in, do a day fewer. So, in addition to the bonus I mentioned earlier, because it could go either way, if all else were equal, which one would I choose? I choose to recognize the primacy of the land of Israel, of the proper way of handling things. Properly, we should not be doing this extra day. We should be on to the next Torah reading this Shabbat, not next Shabbat. And therefore, I'm doing that according to the Israeli schedule. Let's try to keep that in mind. For thousands of years, we've been praying with keeping the land of Israel central in our minds. It's our ancestral homeland, and it means something. Keep that with you at all times. On that note, Shabbat Shalom, Mo'adim L'Simcha, and let's hope at some point in future we can all join together again in the completely rebuilt and renewed land of Israel. All the best, everyone.